As a fully certified Florence Pugh dude, I've had my eye on The Wonder for a while, so I finally streamed it for this episode's film Critici-simian. But I also just wanted a less blockbustery breather after Black Panther before a full swing December of billion-dollar blue dudes and Puss in Boots, both of which I do look forward to anyhow. Post-Great Potato Famine Island. An English nurse, that's Pugh, is tasked with surveilling an 11-year-old girl who claims to have eaten nothing for months, allegedly sustained only by God's grace. A local committee who summoned Pugh mostly seemed concerned with her verifying it as miracle or not, having her hold vigil over the girl for 2 weeks, swapping shifts with a nun. They find little Anna, played by Kíla Lord Cassidy, seemingly in good health, surrounded by believers making pilgrimage, and unsurprisingly her family hostile to the observation but cooperative. Opposed to any nun stereotypes you might have, Pugh's rational, evidence-based, all that stuff. The committee treats her, though, like nothing more than a cold measuring instrument of Anna, which she starts challenging as she sees dangerous signs and symptoms on the horizon, concerned not just for the child's survival, but the mental state that led her to this otherworldly trial in the first place. A word of warning at the outset about the marketing of The Wonder. By now, Pugh's golden goose for your next big spooky cult movie, because she's brilliant. So just going on the trailer, I was psyched to see something as labyrinthine as Shutter Island. But be prepared to just watch a decent drama with not even a smidge of Scorsese's mystery. The Wonder believes the way we get through the horror of being alive is by the power of the stories we tell ourselves. So it begins with a once upon a time type narrator, and surprisingly a shot of the movie's set behind the scenes, laying bare the camera gear, lighting, and the plywood false house of Anna, the tools of the good lie, or the lie for good. The camera then floats through the set to an 1860 scene, where Florence Pugh is in character and it's off to the races. A previous director, Ari Aster, did similarly with his Hereditary model house opening, trapping you as another plaything to some greater force just outside the window. Whereas in The Wonder, this kinda counterproductively positions you at a godlike arm's length, rather than dragging you deep. This is down in part to its decision to include a narrator far too explicitly spelling out how they hope you'd enter their story, embracing belief as much as its characters do. The fourth wall break screws itself, setting your antenna tingling going forward, either distracting yourself with the details, or feeling too empowered as an even greater observer to the observing being done by the nurse and its drama down below. This reminds me of a bittersweet conundrum Darren Brown explained. Choosing to preface his shows with admission, it's all just trickery, sets his audience to detective mode, eyes wide for sleights of hand, hidden wires or slipped linguistic cues. Whereas, if some more flamboyant magician begins by lying that they learned their next feat through a century of astral travel, somehow we're more prone to suspend disbelief and go with the flow. As Michael Caine closes my favorite Christopher Nolan movie, The Prestige, you want to be fooled. Long story short, this behold the story of story-making mechanic doesn't quite land in The Wonder, and may even hamper it as it goes forward. As for its plea you embrace belief, even relatively heavy-handed stuff like Shyamalan's Split do better to string you along with its thesis that the power of belief can summon actual mind-over-matter phenomena, that you should have believed James McAvoy all along. That just sounds like a good family motto. I'm putting that on a crest. Believe James McAvoy. He's a great actor and a scary, scary man. The nurse is also unevenly written, at times weirdly terse with the kid like a battle-scarred detective with a rookie. My family don't call me any of those names, she groans. I have no family. Dude, she's 11. Ask her if she's ever seen a pony or some shit. For goodness sakes. And despite being a stand-in for science, she is strangely taken aback when her nun partner brushes her off, cautioning her against conferring after the nurse asks if she's noticed any change. The nun is just reminding you of the experimental design you agreed to, and technically should be doing better to uphold. What's the fuss? In that same vein, when eventually the girl is brought before the committee to corroborate or rubbish a claim by the nurse, the scientific character doesn't raise alarm about a likely manipulator of the kid being present at the cross-questioning. It goes without saying Florence Pugh delivers, and has the talent to separate the nurse from her greatest hits in the past. Kidlet Kíla Lord Cassidy performs even the cliché, whispery, wise child parts well, and is incredible in scenes of her inner conflict. Great little actress. Especially good in The Wonder is Pugh's outer conflict with real-life and movie mother to the kid actress, Elaine Cassidy. They stand off over the twisted concern that the nurse might be secretly feeding her daughter. It's really kind of dark. I think it handles Faith relatively fairly. It's likely anyone trapped in this game is just as worried about saving face socially as they are about the pearly gates. The priest, by legend, Ciarán Hinds, seems reasonable, and Pugh's not there to brutally rip the opiate from the masses. But it could have done more to dig into the conditions that create this dependency in the first place, and the suffering. The whole point of that misunderstood opiate quote. Why an Irish person might desperately need hope God will provide before being subjected to the next brutal famine. Don't expect a Kobayashi twist ending, don't expect a heap of depth. The Wonder's a well-acted drama and is 6.5. If you love Florence Pugh, as in to say if you have air in your lungs right now, it's probably worth a Sunday afternoon stream.